Hi everyone, welcome back to another one of my review videos. Today we have a very special car. It's kind of always a special car that we have, but today's going to be an extra special one. This is the 1985 Saab 900 that I've been working on for most of the winter. I'm going to review this kind of like one of my regular video reviews, rather than kind of making a summary of the project. That way I'll just have kind of consistency along with all my reviews, and also it'll kind of compare this car to a newer car, and also if anybody else is watching these videos for a review of the car, it won't be just me droning on and on about what I've done. So anyway, this is a 1985 Saab 900S, so it's not the turbo. It has a 5-speed manual and the 8-valve B engine, making about 115 horsepower. So let's get right into it. So up front we have sealed beam headlamps. And this is the flat nose 900, so later the bumpers in front and rear would have changed, so, well, and a couple other things of course, but so kind of the early style front end. And there are fog lamps below with covers. Going back the side we have 15-inch alloy wheels. Very cool. Kind of small by today's standards, but they look nice. This car has Pirelli P4 4-season tires on them, similar to what it would have come with new. But everything's in really good shape here. The suspension's all been redone. The undercoating is in nice shape. All the rubber trim is in really good shape here as well. So everything looking proper there. The one thing that is missing on this car is kind of some of the clips at the ends of the rubber trim, and the rubber trim is shrunk. But notice the nice pin line going down the side, and that is all original. Nice chrome trim on this car. This was a feature of the earlier 900s, which later gave way to sort of a metal trim. So you'll notice the bright work around the windows and also the door handles as well. This car does have a sunroof, and this one I'm leaving the wind deflector on. Here's the thing, we're in Pennsylvania here. It's hot. Last weekend was 55 and rainy. This weekend's about 94 and sunny, so it's hot out. Going back the back, we have these vents here. This would exhaust air from the car for circulation, and there's also the sunroof drains tucked up inside of there as well. There's a power antenna on this car, and that does in fact work. So I've left the original dealer sticker on this car just because it's part of history. There's also a front plate, the key tag, and the license plate frame are also there, although they're kind of more worn. The bumper's in really nice shape on that car. That's been replaced. See my other videos for that. There's a full new exhaust on this car, not full, from the cat back. The wing on this one is also in really nice shape, not all bleached out from the sun. All the glass is pretty good on this one as well. Going down this side, everything again nice and clean and proper. A very interesting shape on these cars. I find it attractive myself. I think it looks nice, but I certainly wouldn't argue with anybody that said it was ugly or weird. It was designed for aerodynamics, so if it's not beautiful, that's okay. It's not really the point. But very cool. I found the only spot that isn't all sunny in this parking lot, so we'll make the most of the time that we have. Okay, so let's walk around to the back and take a look. So the nice thing with this car is, and I don't have the keys on me right now, but everything, there's no key fobs, keys for everything. So this is unlocked. There's just a little tab here, and then the trunk where the hatch opens. All right, now let me stand back. So on this car, what a nice huge opening. It's just huge, and everything's really simple. Just a piece of metal here to grab onto. It plugs in the end, so very cool. Simple latches as well. Everything is just nice and clean all the way around. So in this car, the rear seats will fold down, but in its present configuration, we have the cargo cover up, or I'm sorry, we have it down. But to put it up, just lift up and it clips in to this hook up here. There you go, revealing a very large storage area. And if you lift up, I've got somebody nearby here slamming a screen door or something, so we'll see what happens with the noise. We have some fire extinguishers in over here. That's just me, always worried about safety and stuff. original spare tire and the bag that the tire would have been in. So, like if you changed the tire in the rain and it was dirty, you could put it in there and keep the dirt from getting into the car. And the jack is also below there. There's also this toolkit here. Very nice, complete. It doesn't look like any of this has ever been used. So very cool, nice Knipex. I suspect that's a Knipex channel lock wrench there. Very nice. You know, it's good tool, stuff you could actually use, which I kind of like. Interesting to note that this panel behind also is where I'm going to get this leaf out. There we go. But the panel behind, that's where you get access to the fuel pump. So very cool. This little latch here, you can release that, but if you did go to close the trunk, this cargo cover would kind of fall. It won't snap or break or bend the trunk lid or anything. Just nice simple vinyl on the back. Very cool. These struts, I doubt they're original, but they're very old and they work proper. The neat thing is you don't really have to slam this trunk. You know, if you let go of it, it'll drop, but if you even hold your fingers onto the latch, it will go. And if you hold to the side, you can hear just a nice metallic click. Everything feels solid on this car, even as it's old, including the doors, the door handles. There's no flex in the panel. The handle feels solid. Everything's very proper and nice. Go ahead and pop the hood and take a look. So this is, again, a 2-liter, 4-cylinder engine making about 115 horsepower. And this one does have the 5-speed manual. There's Bosch K-Jetronic fuel injection on this particular vehicle. That's all been redone, every single part of it, except the lines. That was fun and expensive. Here we are. One thing not functional in this car that we're going to leave, well, two things. One's going to be the AC. I think we'll let that go. And the other's going to be the cruise control. I don't want to take the dash apart for the cruise. I think it's in pretty good shape. I feel like if I take it apart, it's probably not going to be great for it. Pretty decent to service here. You've got your brake fluid reservoir there, coolant here, the fuel filter's right up here. You can't miss the oil fill cap. Nice clear covers for the fuses, fuse compartments and relays, I should say. And of course, this vent here is for the fresh air, so it actually doesn't come in around the cowl, it comes right through the hood. So very cool and asymmetrical. You have the jets here for the wipers. There's one on the passenger side, two on the driver's side. And of course the hood, I'm sure everybody that has a 900 knows, but the hood tips forward, which is kind of cool. You don't see a lot of cars like that anymore, at least not a lot of you know, mainstream or like economy cars, or anyway. So right down in this area is kind of where the turbo would have been, but not on this particular model. Rust free after a couple repairs here. This one also has all new fluids, filters, new belts, new motor mounts, new spark plug wires, new plugs. Very nice. It's been gone through very well. Here's the, well, a couple things. So you've got the dipstick here for the transmission fluid. There's the power steering fluid right there. And the washer bottles right there as well. So very nice to access. Not bad. Actually, the underside of the hood is pretty clean as well. So. Oh, so here, I'll demonstrate the hood one more time. So if you just tip it back, and then it makes contact on these rollers. And then if you go around to the front, you just kind of push forward, and then it'll start to go down, and then you just give it a little bit of a push. So again, great, you know, just everything feels durable with this, and like it was made really well. We'll take a look here in the back. So very simple back here. Really not any features other than just some grab handles with some hooks, and then on this side there's a light. So the headliner's been redone. It's starting to go in a couple areas, but I don't really know why, but that's common with these 900s. I suspect it's because there's some really tight creases in the headliner, but who knows? I'm not an expert with that. Nice rear seat, nice padding. There's really no contour with this, but you know, I mean, I don't know, it's comfortable. I've sat there. It's okay. Seating for 3, and then there's this nice little console that folds out. everything's very soft foam, you know, and it's comfortable, or at least what I find to be comfortable. And then just some floor mats, and then back here just a little, I guess that would be an ashtray, but it's kind of hard to tell. All right, somebody's mowing behind me now, so hopefully you can still hear, but at any rate. Okay, and then for the front seats here, you know what, 1 minute, I'm gonna wait, this is getting loud. Okay, I'm in the car now. We'll see how long this lasts. Like I said, it's 94 degrees outside and I can't run the car and not have AC. So with the windows up for noise, we'll see how long I can make it. But anyway, we've got just a simple door panel here, or door handle I should say, just pull back to latch, and a rubber strap to latch it, and a simple lever to open it, and a nice lock over there. Again, a grab handle. While we're at it up here, this is a manual sunroof on this car, so just pull back and slide. Pretty nice wide opening, and I'm leaving that deflector in place. It really does help out. So we'll close that. That actually works really well. I'm impressed. Then just simple visors with mirrors, with a mirror on the passenger side. And then a simple mirror there. No mirror on the driver's side. And they also don't give you a handle on this side either, which I find interesting. The driver's side door panel is the same way as the passenger side. Then you do have this nice pocket here. So again, we'll just start over here and go around. Nice floor mats in this car. There's a lot of leg room, a lot of room around you. It's kind of a small car, but it doesn't feel super small. All right, I'm back. So the noise is down. I was trying to film in the car, but about 30 seconds into it, my iPhone gave that message that said it had overheated. So back to it now. Anyway, so we have the window switches here, the key in the center, the gear shift here, again 5-speed. Then don't mind my mess there. And then here I will actually get into the vehicle now. All right, so we have this radio here and the power antenna. Let's see, did I not turn it on? Okay, so I guess it has to be powered. Anyway, so looking at the controls here, so you've got the button for recirculation, AC, you've got your hazards here, cigarette lighter right in the middle, rear defrost. The interesting thing about this is that there's a mirror adjuster knob on the right and also on the left, so instead of switching it so that it could control one or then the other, they had a separate switch for both. So very interesting. You've got your fan controls here, temperature, and then air distribution. That's probably the most confusing and complicated distribution system or list of options anyways. And then you have dampers here on the vents for opening and closing them. Again, this is not the original cassette deck, but it is old, so it's kind of period correct, I guess. But just a cassette tape anyway. Nice glove box here. There's a couple spare parts over there, but they give you these little cutouts, which are, I guess, suggestions on where you could put a drink. No cup holders in this car. And then you've got your nice glove box there. There's a lot of service records on this car. The dash is a little bit cracked, by the way, so I just have this cover on it. Underneath are some nice new speakers, and in the back as well. On this side, this control stalk here does your wipers. So you have one position for intermittent, and then you pull to wash the wash the lamps. This would be the cruise control stalk over here, and then that also does your turn signals and your high beam, of course. And over here you have your fog lights and the same lamp control as you would find in a 9.3 or a 900. So they kept that around for a long time. Nice simple horn controls here. No airbag in this. This car also doesn't have ABS. So this decal's a little bit scratched up, but good luck finding another one, right? So we'll just leave it with that. And there is a little bit of room in here, a little bit more room than like a 9.3 or something. But the interesting thing about this car is that there's a lot of things that are different than like a 9.3 or 9.5, but are also kind of similar. And the more that you're with the car, you can kind of see it's very different. I don't know. I haven't thought of anything real profound to say. So just give me a couple minutes here and we'll take this out for a drive. All right, now I'm in the car. I'll have to talk kind of loud. There's of course I have the windows down with no AC here, and it's still 95 or so out. I did wait a little bit since when I filmed before, but at any rate, so driving this car, so a couple things that are interesting about it. One, it sounds really nice. You know, a lot of four-cylinder engines to me don't really sound great, not really something that you'd want to kind of celebrate, but this one sounds all right. It's not too loud. There's a little bit more vibration than you'd expect in a newer car, especially like even a newer Saab. There's just a little bit more harshness from the engine. Like I said before, acceleration is not too bad. It does pretty decent. It's pretty nice off the line. It kind of loses a little bit of power on the highway. It doesn't quite keep up as fast, but you can certainly do, you know, 75 or 80 miles an hour and feel comfortable. It just isn't going to get there quite as fast. Braking is okay, certainly fine. Again, no ABS, so you would want to be a little bit more careful if you're not used to it. You know, but then again, if you're driving a car like this, you want to drive safe and slow down anyway. I mean, old cars, even though if they were safe back in the day, there's a lot of modern technologies out there that make you a lot safer, even if the car isn't, you know, say like as strong, you know, if the frame isn't as strong. But anyway, handling is also really nice. It turns really sharp. It has a nice turning radius. The ride is a little bit hard for my taste. I like cars that kind of ride soft, like a boat. That's more what I like, but that's just because that's what I grew up with. To me, I don't really care for cars that have a hard ride. This isn't so much stiff. It's just it's not stiff like a BMW. It's just kind of rough. It's harsh. There's not a lot of suspension travel, I don't think, which just makes it kind of bumpy. You know, it doesn't feel great going over certain bumps and things. And maybe you can hear as we hit stuff in the road here, potholes and such, that it just sounds a little bit rough. So, but anyway, I'm not going to go for a too terribly long of drive here, but everything runs really well. Everything works. Nice readout here on the gauges. The clock works. Fuel gauge works. The temperature is a little bit interesting. It'll actually go up to about the three-quarter of the way towards, you know, the red. But the fans, that's about where the fans kick on. So it can kind of be a little weird if you're driving in stop and go traffic. You'll see the temperature rising and rising, but at least while I've been driving it hasn't even come close to overheating. But it does give you a real readout. It's not buried in sort of, you know, a bunch of electronics that transmit a signal. That's just it's a real readout. So, and again, this is also a manual, so it's not as easy to film. But I do have a camera mount, but it doesn't work particularly well. It's kind of bouncy and things. So this car on its own, you know, it has a lot of really nice features as far as driving. It doesn't seem like there's anything too bad. I guess where it kind of starts to fall short is when you start to compare it to what's out there today. You know, like I said, it's not as slow off the line as you might think, but that's not exactly saying that it's fast off the line. You know, pretty much any economy car is going to beat it. Besides that, it sits very low, so if there's trucks or SUVs around you, you really do feel like you're driving something very tiny. So that also makes it a little bit tricky. I do not like, I like small cars, but I don't like not being able to see and being blocked by higher profile vehicles, which pretty much everything is higher profile than this. In addition to that, the sealed beam headlamps aren't very bright, so that doesn't make it super great for at night. The other thing that makes it kind of difficult to drive, I think, is the perception. Now, this is strictly my opinion, but when I see a classic car or an older car on the road, especially one that's in really nice shape, I try to be very respectful of that. Give the person room, stay back a little bit. I know that they're going to be slower, but I think because this is so small and so old, but like I said, I mean, it is in nice shape. Certain people that know what it is and appreciate it are very courteous, but a lot of people are very rude and kind of, you know, follow very close and kind of, it's very narrow too. I've had people pass me on the right, you know, and I'm doing proper speeds. I'm not driving slow. I mean, there's no reason, you know, I can understand why somebody would pass me on the highway, but you know, if you're passing me on a road like this and I'm doing 45 and the speed limit's 40, I mean, that's on you. That's not me. I'm doing what I need to do. As you can see, I mean, I'm having to switch hands here with the camera, but in spite of that, not super slow. You know, we're already up to 45. Cruising along in fourth gear. There is a little bit of a hang up in third and fifth, but it just takes a little bit of time. The clutch feel is a little bit interesting. It kind of engages close to the floor, but anyway, just a really nice car to drive. This is a fun car. Maybe not when it's 95 degrees out, but just a fun vehicle to use. So what a nice piece. I know I said I wasn't going to talk too much about the restoration of this, but you know, I must say this was a lot of fun, this whole project. The people that I've met, the places that I've gone, the compliments that I've gotten from this car, it's really been special. This is definitely you know, a good memory. I'd love to do another car like this again someday, but you know, maybe just a little bit less work next time, but who knows. Let's do one more acceleration test here. So, all right. And that's just being gentle with it. And after a couple seconds, we're, you know, back up to 35 or 40 cruising along. So, not terrible. So that pretty much wraps up this quick look at this 1985 Saab 900S. So I'm not going to take this out on the highway, especially not being a manual. That's just not safe. But like I said before, it does pretty well. Just a little bit slow getting around, but you can definitely cruise at high speeds in comfort. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. There's many other videos about this car on the channel, as well as other reviews you know, that I've done, and even more going forward.